What's up, everybody? Welcome. Welcome to another Saturday edition of Savings Minus Debt. As always, I'm gonna let a few minutes roll by so we can get everybody a chance to get up in here. This is a short notice video. It's one of those videos when they just come to me. That's when I talk about it. It's one of those. Saturday's really not pre-planned too much anyway, so. Welcome, everybody. Give you guys a couple minutes to get in here. Hope everybody gets it in time, because I know it was a short notice, and I'm learning the longer out notification that I give, it gets to many more people. So when I schedule it to be like 2 or 3 hours out, sometimes more people come in. So we'll see. Give you guys a few minutes. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. That's why. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Welcome to another video from Savings Minus Debt. Welcome to the SMD family. Appreciate it. Appreciate you showing up. Appreciate you coming in. I hope you contribute. Please feel free to ask questions if you wish. That's what I'm here for. Okay. We're going to get started in about 1 more minute. Welcome, welcome. This was like, I gave like 30-minute notice, so it's probably people are going to trickle in here as soon as they eventually get the I'm live notice. So is that blocking? I think that's kind of blocking, isn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, it sure was. God dog it. Okay. All right. Microphone. Got it. Here we go. All right. That's much better. Much better. All right. We're going to get started. Hello, everyone. My name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% conscious, debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is a place where everybody lives that believes in credit and debt, okay? That is where I lived for the first 40 years of my life, okay? And I didn't know it. I thought debt was part of life. I thought credit scores meant everything. What else did I think at that time? I thought credit was the only way I could buy anything, a car, a house, a phone, furniture, washer, dryer, you name it. I thought I had to have credit if I was going to ever obtain those things, right? But that's how I was thinking when I lived in the debt matrix. Once I got out of debt, meaning become financially free. Once I got out of debt, being north of zero, all I did was trust mathematics. I just said, hey, okay, if I keep doing this, that means I don't trust. If I keep staying in debt, that means I don't trust mathematics. Once I trust mathematics, then I became financially free, right? And financial freedom means owning the time in your life, right? You don't, even though when I was in debt, I knew one day I was going to be dead, right? I mean, everybody just knows they're going to die, right? But for some reason, I wasn't thinking like that, right? And if I know I'm going to be dead one day, that would mean time is the most valuable thing on earth. Time, because I can never get more of it from anywhere, right? So, but for me being in debt, I was putting money over time, right? Money was over time. But I didn't know I was doing that, right? Until I got out of debt. Now, what I do to help people, I expose what I call glitches in the debt matrix. And glitches in the debt matrix are things that don't make mathematical sense, yet people still do them and say them. But those are glitches. And what that glitch is that it's a choice, right? Everybody has a choice. And what I teach is you either choose to believe in mathematics or you choose not to. It's really like that. Okay. So let's put it this way. Okay. So let me give an example of what I mean by choice. Okay. And not in a financial perspective, but in a regular life perspective. Okay. So say like things started getting desperate, like things are now, right? Things are getting really desperate, no jobs and stuff like that, right? And so some people might, the idea of robbing a bank might pop up in their head because it happens. You guys are seeing it on the news now that everybody wear masks. Bank robbers are taking advantage of being able to walk into a bank and rob it, right? Because they can't say, hey, you can't come in here with no mask, right? So they come in there and do that. But we're going to go way back before the actual act of a bank robbery happens, okay? Before anything goes into motion, the person must first think about robbing a bank. The idea of robbing a bank must pop in their brain first before things can go into motion. Now, at that moment, because everybody gets this, everybody has it, okay? Everybody has this. There's two voices that pop up in your head at that moment. One says, hey, you do know if you rob that bank and you get caught, you're going to go to prison, and then you're going to lose something that you will never be able to get back in your life ever. You'll never, which is time. That voice says, that's the first voice. And then there's another voice that says, hey, I don't care about losing something that I can never get back. Let's go get that money. Even though money can be replaced, you can always get more money. You can always earn more money. But this voice says, I don't care about losing something that I can never get back. So right in the middle of those two voices is choice. There's a choice. You could say, well, let's see. I'm going to go with the one that says, so I don't lose the time in my life, so I don't lose something that I can never get back. But then some people go with the other voice and say, screw it. If they make this choice says, screw it. I don't care about losing something I can't get back. They don't care. It's the same mathematically when I teach you guys finances. It's the exact same thing. You can choose to believe in mathematics or you can choose not to. It's like when you sit down and sign a 30-year mortgage, right? Right there at that moment, you can choose to say, wait, signing a mortgage for 30 years doesn't make me a homeowner. That doesn't make any sense. Or you could choose to believe math, because if you do the math on the mortgage, that wouldn't even make any sense. You would clearly see the sale price of a house doesn't matter to you if you finance it for 30 years. The sticker price you're seeing on the box or in the window or wherever you're seeing it at, it doesn't matter to you because you're financing it for 30 years. Math says it only matters to the person who has the money. That's what math says. It's a choice. Now, the reason why this came up, hey, what's up, Naima, Jonathan, Cosmic, Gabriel? The reason why this came up, I was thinking about, I was sitting every morning I get up and just, nobody wakes up as early as I do. So that gives me a chance to think, right? And this morning I thought about why did I need a job? Right? It's like I've been working all my life, so never once did I ever say that to myself. I never stopped once and said, why do I need a job? I just thought I just thought having a job was just part of life. So I'm telling you guys in a way that I wish somebody would have told me when I was in debt. Okay. So play it off as me going back talking to myself when I was in debt. Me today talking to myself back then. What I would say to myself is, Linnell, have you figured it? Linnell, if you figure out why you need a job, you'll be financially free for the rest of your life. Now, if if the now me said that to the old me, I probably wouldn't have understood what I was meaning, right? But at the same time, the now me would have said, just trust mathematics. If you figure out why you needed, how to figure out why you, how can I say, how to figure out why you need a job, all you have to do is trust mathematics. That's it. What's up, Mike? Now, I would have had to leave right there at that moment thinking, that's weird to hear that, just trust math. But at the same time, knowing that the math is right. And without me knowing math, right? I think about this too. I was thinking about this morning. Knowing time is the most valuable thing on earth. That's the most valuable thing on earth. A large percentage of my time was given to my job. I was giving most of the time in my life away to my job. A resource that I can never get more of ever. And I was given the majority of away to it for my job, for a car, for a house, for a phone, for some shoes. That's why I needed that job. And by working at a job, say like just to think back, I'm just telling you, I'm thinking back at that mindset, to think that I worked at a job for 5 years. Say like I worked for 5 years. 5 years. Whatever they were paying me, it really doesn't matter. Whatever they were paying me, I was literally saying to myself, that's what the time in my life is worth. The salary that I accepted from that job. Minus taxes. Man, I tell you. And the crazy thing is, man, I still couldn't figure out why I needed a job. Still couldn't figure it out. Still couldn't figure it out. And I think about just all the calls in the middle of the night. I couldn't figure out why I was allowing my job to do that. See what I'm saying? When my job was calling me for free because they wasn't paying me, because I didn't sign up for a job to own me 24 hours a day. So anytime they called me when I wasn't in the office, it was for free. What that means was I was now listen, I was literally giving away the time of my life for absolutely free. Something that I can never get more of. And I was saying, here, job, you can have it for free. I did that for years too. Years. If somebody would have came back to me, Linnell, you know that feeling when they call you in the middle of the night and you feel like you shouldn't be getting up because you're so tired? Yeah, that feeling is real, Linnell. That's real. You know what that is? Giving away the time in your life for absolutely free. That's that feeling. That's the feeling you get. I wish somebody would have been able to say that to me. What's up, Ill Wills? You see what Cosmic Wisdom saying here? If you use your job to buy assets, it can be beneficial. Live off 50%, save 50%, buy assets, and you will not need that job. And now a person in debt, they really can't. If you're in debt, you probably really can't you really can't understand what Cosmic's saying here. You can't understand that. You probably think 50%. There is no way in hell I could live off of 50% of my income. You know why you're thinking that? Because you're in debt. That's why you're thinking that. If you got out of debt, like when you're in debt, it's mathematically impossible for you to invest in any assets because you have no money. That's the very reason why you couldn't live off of 50%, because you're in debt. You're already 50% of nothing. You're 50% of negative. Once you get out of debt, you can do everything that Cosmic Wisdom is right up here on this board. You can do all that. But not when you're in debt. 50% of any negative number is still nothing. Reality Game Design says it's a bad deal, especially the wage gap. Let me tell you something now that I'm not in debt, okay? And this is the very reason why people need jobs. They believe there's a wage gap. They really believe that exists. The only gap you want is the one you create. You create your own gap. When I see online people like, oh my God, the wage gap, you know what I think to myself? The wage gap according to who? Your friends? Your neighbors? Because I create my own wage gap. I do, not some mystery entity out there. And I'm not jumping all over you, reality game. I'm just pointing out something. When you get out of debt, you hear stuff like that. It's like the wage gap according to who? What's up, Jewel? Naeem, if I haven't said hello already. Ill Will says, LJ, you speaking facts. Life of an engineer in technology. They will even try to compensate you for a comp day. That is not even fair trade. But like you said, you can't allow it. It's up to you. For you IT engineers, let me explain something to you. I don't blame any IT business that gets away with that. I don't blame them, because this is business. They're going to get most for their dollar. This is how you survive. They're not doing anything wrong to you, because if you just sit down and do the math and say, wait a minute, okay, I said 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day between 9 to 5, anything outside those hours are null and void. Because anything outside those hours, you're basically telling the job that they own you 24 hours a day of your life. That's what you're saying, but you are accepting that. You know why I accepted that? You know what? This is why I accepted that. Because I needed a job. That's why. Not I thought, I needed a job. That's why I accepted that. Why did I need a job? Because I was in debt. I didn't know I had a choice. I didn't know that I didn't have to have a job. I didn't know that. I thought, hey, if I don't have a job, I'm gonna be a bum. You mean like the bums you see on TV? You talking about the homeless people you see on TV all day, every day? Yeah, they put that there on purpose, so you'll believe that. Bums, homeless people, call them what you want to call them. But they put all those people on TV to make you believe if you don't have a job, that's what you're gonna end up like. That's not true. Says who? The TV? Stop look. A lot of people, when you're in debt, you don't even get that. The TV will have you believe that homeless people are there because of drugs. You mean to tell me there's no homeless person that's a doctor, lawyer, pharmacist, engineer, college degree, you name it. You think none of them have what you have today? You better not believe the TV. These are the things I wish somebody would have told me. It would have explained to me why I needed a job. Linnell, check this out. Why don't you Google national car loan debt? How much is it? It's in the trillions, Linnell? Yeah. That's millions of people, right? Well, yeah. If you don't have a car note, Linnell, you won't even be part of any of that mess. Why wouldn't I? Because you don't have a car note, Linnell. That's why. Now you're financially ahead of everybody that does, Linnell. I wish somebody would have told it to me like that. I would have been like, duh. Cosmic says, LJ, you don't need much when you don't have debt. You don't even need much. Life is not expensive. It's not. I swear to you, if you're coming in here, if somebody would just ask me, Linnell, if you figure out why you need a job, you'll be financially free. How do I do that? Trust mathematics. That's it. See you later. Have a good night. I wish somebody would have said it to me like that. Your Will says, yep. And now that nice six-figure salary that everyone praises becomes minimum wage salary working outside those hours. You ain't lying, Ill Wills. You think I saw that? I didn't see that. You know why I didn't see that? Because I was in debt and the only thing I paid attention to was my salary. According to society, six figures means you're somebody, or you made it, or something like that. Don't believe that. Those of you that follow me, I want you guys to understand something. Titles mean absolutely nothing. If they have a job, it's for a reason. And there's only two. There's only two reasons. Because they want it, they want a job, or because they have to have a job. There's only two reasons. Only two. Don't believe that there's more. There's not. There's only two reasons. They want to or they have to. There's only two reasons. Because don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that people who are financially free don't like working. That's a myth too, okay? But they do what they want to do, or they do what they love. People who are financially free and they have jobs, they do it because they want to do it. They don't work at places that they don't like. They don't do that. They don't allow managers and bosses to call them whenever they wish, talk to them however they wish. That's not allowed. I allowed all that. I allowed it all. All of it. Sure did. Herbert Walker says, LJ, when the government made me an essential worker during the last two shutdowns, I had no idea I was working for free. I received the same pay my coworkers received who were sitting at home. They do it. And Herbert, they do it right in your face. They do it right in your face. And when I say they, I'm not saying they're doing anything to anybody, okay? All you got to do is trust mathematics. You trust math, you would never allow that, ever. That would never be allowed, ever. I would, if I'm forced back into the workforce, I will be unlike any worker in the whole workforce. I promise you that. And those above, they would see me. They would see me. They would like, hey, he's not like everybody else. He's not like everybody else. Hey, LJ, hey, man, don't talk to me like that. Whoa. We ain't at your house. I'm not your wife. That's exactly, if a boss would come in because they had a problem with his wife or whatever and came in with an attitude, that's exactly what I would say. Because if they're bold enough to say it in front of everybody at work, they're bold enough to receive it back. Not in an unprofessional way. Like, MFer. I mean, let me make sure it's clear, because I follow, once you get out of debt, you just follow the rules, okay? You just follow the rule. That's the best way I can explain it. You just follow the rules that are obvious, right? So if you walk in, they say, hey, man, hey, whoa, I'm not your wife. Yeah, please don't talk to me like that. That's exactly how I would say it. No cussing needed. No, this is business. You don't bring that to work. You keep that at home. We're adults here. Hill Will says, LJ, I don't even see 5-year car loan advertised anymore. I believe 84 months is a standard being advertised. You called it early in the game. And this is, Ill Wills, this is obvious. And it hasn't even started yet, Ill Wills. This is why you need a job. If you have an 84-month car loan, this is why you need a job. 84 months is 7 years. I couldn't even imagine a 1-day loan. Let me try to express the feeling to you, okay? I would go into an anxiety attack if I had a 1-day car loan. And you talk about 7 years? That sounds like financial prison. When you finance a car, not only are you locked to that car, you're locked to the bank, and guess what else you're locked to? Your job. Each time you finance something, you're adding 3 links to your debt chain. 3 links. You finance a phone. Now you're locked to the phone, the bank, the finance company, and your job. Everything's hooked back. So say like this. Think of a tree with a whole bunch of branches, and your job is the trunk. And the tree's got all kind of leaves on it. That's everything you financed in your financial life. And the trunk is your job. Okay? One whack of that trunk, your whole life falls. That's it. It's done. Everything tied to a job that I needed. All I had to do was figure out why I needed that job. That's it. If the new me would have came back to the old me and said, Linnell, stop listening to the people around you with jobs, Linnell. Stop listening to them. Do they sound like they need a job like you do, Linnell? Yeah, then stop listening to them. They're in the same predicament as you. It doesn't matter their house, Linnell. It doesn't matter their car. It doesn't matter what kind of dogs they have. It doesn't matter what type of phones they have. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they believe they're investing in the stock market. It doesn't matter if they're believing in that they believe that they're investing in cryptocurrency, the yen. It doesn't matter. Money doesn't even exist for people in debt. Money doesn't exist for you, Linnell. It doesn't even exist for you in any form, in any country. I wish somebody would have said it to me like that. Of course, I would have had to say, hey, what are you talking about? Prove it. Add up all your savings, Linnell. Add up all your debt. Yes, including your mortgage. Yes, including your student loans. Yes, including your unpaid child support. Yes, including this and that. Yes, including this and that. Right? Add it all up. Savings minus debt equals your money in real life, Linnell. Does that large negative number look like you have money? No? Then you have none. I wish somebody would have said it. Just like that. That would be undeniable. I would have to have listened. Had to have. Reality Game Design says, those jobs take so much of your time, you can't spend the time to work on yourself to get out of the debt matrix and actually learn how to make more money than what they are paying you. I'm trying to think of a good way to answer that question. Those jobs take so much of your time, you can't spend the time to work on yourself. For me to believe that statement, I would have to know your current financial situation. Because once I look at, for example, if I could look at your credit report, your entire credit report, all three of them, it will tell me why you're making that statement. Okay. It will tell me exactly why you're making that statement. Because what people in debt don't understand is this. When you guys talk to me, when when you guys come to me and we talk on the phone, to you, you believe your story is unique. To me, it's all the same. You know why? Because math never changes. Math never changes. It never changes. All I'm here is to offer you choice. Choose, give you the choice to believe in mathematics or not. That's why I'm here. I'm just saying, hey, you do know you have a choice not to keep living this way, right? And then they say, how do I do that? Just trust math, and you'll not live like that anymore. Jason says, what's going on, everybody? What's up? Cosmic says, basing you basing you identify on a job title is benefit. Okay, gotcha. It's dangerous. We're more than a job title. And what happens if you lose that job? Exactly. And you know what's so crazy, Cosmic? I had to, when I first quit my job, I went through some withdrawals of letting go of that job title. I went through what happens if I be out of the computer games so long, man, I'm gonna lose my skills. What if I never make that amount of money again? What if I don't succeed at what I believe I'm gonna do? Blah, blah, blah. All those things are doubt. It's all doubt of yourself. It was all doubt of myself. Once I fully started believing in myself, then that's when everything took off. You know, it sounds crazy, but all you got to do is believe in yourself. Once you believe in yourself, and then, I mean, you got to really make up your mind to say, I believe in me. And then once you believe in you, the rest just connects and happens. That's the best way I can explain that. But first, I had to answer the question, why did I need a job? Once I got out of debt, becoming debt free answered that question, why I needed a job. I needed a job because I was in debt. Okay, cool. Once I was debt free, then and only then was the time I had the courage and non-fear enough to let go of that job. Then and only then, because, and I'm glad I'm talking about this right now so you can understand something. I remember always hearing people like motivational speakers telling you that they quit a six-figure job and then they went out on their own and they did this and that, and, you know, they believed in themselves. And so, now I remember hearing that kind of stuff, and I'm like, okay, I understand all that. I understand you got to believe in yourself. I understand you just really got to just get out there and do it. But the fear of quitting my job was just too much to even believe that I could, to believe that I could believe in myself. Okay. It wasn't until I got out of debt and learned that the only reason why I needed a job it was because of myself. I was causing the need for a job by continuously financing things that went down in value. If I had kept doing that, I would have always needed a job. But once I got out of debt and figured out that was the reason, then and only then was I able to say, hey, I quit. I never heard the piece I just told you guys right now. I've never heard a motivational speaker say that part. Right? They never really explain, like, man, but how did you quit your job? You know what I'm saying? That's the real answer that people want. People that really want to quit their job, they want to say, well, how do I do it? It's not by going deeper in debt, by getting more loans, hoping that it'll happen. It's by getting out of debt first. Once I got out of debt, I clearly know my path, how to become a multimillionaire. It's clear. It's that way. First, I had to get on the north side of zero. Like, I love using myself as an example. Like, I keep, especially for you IT engineers, listen. When you signed up for that job, you signed up to work for 40 hours a week, no Saturdays, Sundays, between 8 to 5, whatever's in the contract, right? Then why are they calling you 24 hours a day? That doesn't make sense. By accepting that, you're literally telling your job, hey, you own me 24 hours a day, even though you're not paying for it. So that means you're giving away the time in your life for absolutely free. You think I knew that? I didn't know that. I don't even want to add up the hours. Sometimes at first I started trying to add up all the nights I did that. All the times I was nervous to leave my cell phone in another room downstairs. Oh my God, I hope I didn't miss a call from my job. I better go grab. Hey babe, where's my phone at? We're attached like a freaking cyborg. If you walk into, check this out. If you walk into another room in your house and you realize that you left your work phone in another room, and also you get a feeling like you left your arm in another room. Oh my God, where's my arm? If that feeling is the same, you're a slave. That people joke about that phone being an electronic leash. That's not a joke. That's for real. If you get in your car and drive away and you forgot your phone or your work phone and you turn around and go get, and it's not, and you're not, and what I'm saying, and you're not even on duty or at work, that's the difference. Let me make sure. If you drive away somewhere on your day off and you accidentally leave your work phone, or if you made the same mistake as me, is tie your work stuff to your personal phone, you're a slave. I was a slave. I accepted that because I needed a job. I needed a job. You know, I say, I say to myself, man, if I went back to the job and I wouldn't accept this and that and this and that. But honestly, let me tell you something. You know what scares me even worse about a job? Being trapped in a cubicle for 8 hours? Hell no. I mean that shit. I mean that. I mean that. You guys don't even understand. Here I'm thinking I'm cool. I got 4 screens, got my mouse, got all my electronic setup, but I'm trapped in this cubicle for 8 hours looking at these 4 screens. They make you feel comfortable. They made me feel comfortable and cool at my job. As long as I was there, hey, I would give you whatever you want. As long as you're here, slave. I swear, when I finally quit my job, now let me explain something to you. I was always tier three engineer. A tier three engineer means that you have the passwords and keys to the kingdom. You have to be trusted. Okay. Trust me. You get to this level, you got the passwords that you can do one thing and take down billions of dollars. Okay. You got to be trusted. You got to know. Now, when a person at my level normally says, I quit, they take you out of the building right there and shut down your account and do all that stuff, right? They do all that immediately. That's just standard protocol. Okay, cool. I get it. You know, people flip out, whatever, you know, I'm gonna mess up the company. But you know, when I gave my 2 weeks, now mind you, I'm debt free. Okay. I'm not gonna get into the details of how everything changed. It didn't change to the negative. I was just a different person. That's the best way I can explain to you. But when I gave my 2 weeks, like, long story short, I remember applying for a different position in the job. They said, nope, Linnell, you're not going to get it, but you're going to train the person that we are going to give it to. And I said, no, I'm not. I quit. They were shocked. So I said, here's my 2 weeks. And I had all my, and before I gave the 2 weeks, I packed up all my stuff at my desk. Everything's packed up. It's ready to go. Because I knew once I handed my 2 weeks in, they said they were going to say, okay, you got to go. All right, cool. Hand my 2 weeks. One day went by. I didn't hear anything. I came into work the next day. I didn't hear anything. I was like, hey, I handed you my 2 weeks. How long am I going to be here? They said, according to this, 2 weeks. I was like, what? You know, those 2 weeks, that felt like that last 2 weeks was horrible for me. Not the job, nothing to do with the job, nothing to do with the people, nothing of that. Me, that I had to come to this building that I had been coming to every single day for like 5-6 years, right? But the 2 weeks to come into this building and sit at this cubicle for 8 hours was literally driving me crazy. I would be in this cubicle looking out the windows and looking at the sun, and knowing the only way I was going to feel the sun is through the window if I was lucky enough to get a window. Just to feel the sun on my skin, I had to stand up, go above, reach my arm out because I wasn't next to the window. Ooh, that 2 weeks was hell. I knew it was time to go, but I still didn't know what I was going to do. But anyway, that was my experience. Dave Sincere says, LJ, that's right. Each bill you acquire that requires a monthly payment, you are now locked in. You add 3, each time you finance something, you're adding 3 links to your slave chains. Cosmic says, here is an interesting fact. The real Joneses went broke. Why are people trying to be like the Joneses? To find your own path that works for you, not the Joneses blueprint. Yeah, everybody hears that, but they definitely don't do it for sure. Gabriel said the Black Slim Shady. Now that's funny. I like that, Gabriel. Now that's funny. Only a 19-year-old would have came up with that, because Slim Shady's at around, well, he's not too much my age, but Dave says the public school system was created to make better workers. As years passed, they added the goal of ridding the public of notions of fighting and succeeding to the government. You know what I think now that I'm out of debt? The public school system teaches you the basics so you could function in society. Okay, they teach you the basics. All right, so you can be who you want to be. Right? You really don't understand that. They teach you enough so you can function. All right, here you go. This is what you need. You need to know English. You need to know some math. You need to know some little bit of history, whatever, right? And then they send you out there. But it's your choice to take that basic information and go higher. And what young people don't understand is all they got to do is just believe in math, and then they'll be rich. It's really that simple. Just anything you see, anything to do with your money, you make sure the math makes sense. Because if it doesn't make mathematical sense, it won't make financial sense either. It won't. If it doesn't make mathematical sense, it won't make financial sense. CENTS. Herbert Walker says, I belong to a Facebook retirement. I belong to a Facebook retirement, and some people are struggling with enjoying their freedom. It's sad. See, and I think about that, Herbert. Right now, I absolutely refuse. And it's not even talking about those people that are in that situation. I'm saying right now, I can see it. Had I still been doing the things I was in debt, that was naturally going to happen, because I'm not learning anything along. You think, young people see those old people struggling like that, and when they're young, they automatically think that's not going to be me. Totally forget those old people used to be young. If I was, say like this, if I was in my 20s and I came down and talked to my 20-year-old self, you know what I say? I would say, Linnell, this is what I want you to do, man. I want you to, each person that's 20 years or hell, even 30 years older than you, okay? This is not going to make sense to you, but this is what I want you to do. I want you to ask somebody 20 years older than you if they still have their student loans. I want you to tell me how many of those people say yes. And then I want you to ask somebody that's 30 years older than you, ask them, do you still have your student loans? And then find out how many say yes. When they all come back and say, when 90% of them come back and say yes, this is what I want you to ask yourself, Linnell. If this is what you say to yourself, Linnell, if I keep holding on, if I don't pay off my student loans, that will be me. That will be me if I don't pay off my student loans now. Linnell, if somebody tells you to invest while having student loans, you better not ever use them again. You get up and you leave their office pronto. Anybody that tells you to invest while you're in debt, which means money you don't have, anybody tells you to invest with money that doesn't exist, you do not use them. They don't trust mathematics. Wish somebody would have said it to me like that. Reality Game Design says, LJ, what would you say to someone with child support and $30,000 in loan and no other debts? Pay them off. Pay them off. If somebody said that to me, right, I would say, stop acting like you have a choice not to. If you don't pay those debts off, you're going to be paying on them until you're dead. You know, I say things in a way to help people in debt stop believing that they have a choice. Stop saying words out of your mouth like you have a choice. Like the big one on the internet. Hey, should I buy or rent? All you got to do is add up your savings, add up your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money if you're going to be buying or renting. If your finances are in the negative, your only choice is to rent. You have absolutely no money to buy. Stop speaking as if you have a choice. Those two debts right there, student loan debt and child support debt, that's neck and neck with IRS debt. Those are debts that you cannot get rid of. Gabriel says, LJ, do you have to give them 2 weeks? That's the standard. I did. You don't want to ruin. This is business, right? You don't want to leave wrong because of feelings, right? They didn't do anything to me. So like when you leave and you go get another job and then you have to reference that job, you don't want them to say, hey, he just left abruptly, didn't give us no notice or anything. You want to leave according to the rules. Here's my 2 weeks. If they decide that they don't want you there for 2 weeks, that's different. Okay. Hey, did he give his 2 weeks? Yeah. We decided we want to let him go early. Oh, okay. Whatever. All right, cool. Was it good work? Yeah. All right, cool. Then you get another job. Don't mess up your reputation. All right. Because I want you to understand something, Gabriel. Everything you do in life, Gabriel, every single thing you do counts. I promise you, it all counts. Even to when they make misdemeanor sound like it's little of nothing. Hey, it's just a little misdemeanor, this and that. No, that's not true. It counts. Okay, it counts. Even the word misdemeanor belittles things like that. Everything counts. Ill Will says that's why LJ, I never decorate my cubicle. To me, that's a joke. Okay. If I can't take it with me and I put it in my bag at the time when I'm ready to leave, it's too much clutter in my office. Yeah. You know what's so funny? I did do the decorating of the cubicle. I didn't go too bad, but I put up my, it's so it's so stupid, man. Oh my God. When I think about it, Ill Wills, man, it's like I used to put up my certificates. I think I might have put up my degree. Mm, mm, mm. Just like it meant something. I put it up in my cubicle. You know, the only difference between, when I think about a cubicle, I'll think about a jail cell, right? The only difference between a jail cell and my cubicle, I could leave when I want. Same pictures up on the walls, everything, same thing. But the difference is between the prison is physical prison, right? Being in a cubicle is financial prison that you put yourself there. I didn't know I was putting myself there. That's why I was hanging stuff there. That's why I'm putting stuff there, because this is where I spend the majority of my time outside of my house. And people in debt, they don't even hear themselves say that. Oh man, my job is my second home. They say that out loud. They say that out loud in public. Oh, my job is my second home. Really? Did you say that out loud? You were like a slave. Only slaves say that. Slaves. I only have one home. I only have one, and it will always be that way. Dave Sincere says, when I was 20, I can recall older people saying little things, but they never elaborated in their reasoning. Right. They never broke down what they were trying to get across, whatever advice was. I remember that too, Dave. I remember they never would explain what that meant. See, that's where I come in. I'm explaining to you. Nobody told me why I should pay things for cash. I used to hear that all the time. Oh man, you should pay cash for that car. Why? Now I understand the person that was telling me, because that person believed in mathematics and I didn't. That person never said to me, hey, you know why? Why? Because I believe in math, Linnell. That would inquire me to say, well, what do you mean believe in math? And then I would have showed, see, if you finance a car for 50 months and 60, 84 months, you really be paying this much for a car. For a $10,000 car, you end up paying almost $20,000 if you do that. See the math on LC compared to paying cash? Well, I would have been like, oh, because everybody assumes, this is the craziest thing. Okay, this is the craziest thing. Everybody assumes that everybody knows math. That's what everybody assumes. Hey, and they even say, hey man, you don't even, and this is the crazy part, you don't even need to know math. All you got to do is have a calculator. That's it. You don't even need to know math. All you need is a calculator, and everybody has one. They're all on the smartphones. How many people you think open up their calculator app? Not many. If a person opened up their calculator app as they walked into the Apple store and get ready to finance a cell phone, if they punch the numbers in their calculator, they would clearly see that they shouldn't be doing that. Any phone. Why do you think it's like this? This is what people in debt don't understand. I wouldn't have seen this. Why do you think they're if the majority of people barely have $500 in their savings account, right? Why do you think the price of cell phones keep going up? Because if they get so high, people will naturally believe the only way to get a cell phone is to finance it. That's exactly the plan. So if you barely got $500 in your account, you think you're gonna spend that $500? I mean, that's not even enough to buy a cell phone. Even if you did have $500, right? You think they're gonna pull out cash and buy a cell phone? Mm-mm. And then they wonder why they need a job. That's why you need a job, Linnell, because you keep financing cell phones, Linnell. That's why you need a job. What's up, Dark Man? Dave said normal is broke. It sure is. Normal's broke. Marcus Costin, hello, sir. The K through 12 school schedule trains people to get used to the 9 to 5. It's basically the same schedule. Besides reading and simple math, we never really use or remember the stuff. The reason why you don't really remember the stuff after grade school, because that's all you need to become rich. Anything after that is whatever. It really doesn't matter. All you need is basic math. You don't need to know anything else. K through 12, now that I'm financially free, K through 12 taught me everything I needed to know. I just need to know the basics. It was my fault for not applying basic mathematics to my finances. That's my fault. Because I'm going to tell you guys this, math and money was taught to me in grade school. I remember that specifically, and I was good at it. I also remember that I was upset that they didn't teach it outside of grade school. I was upset. Hey, what happened? Well, I mean, grade school. I'm not even saying through 12. I'm saying the math money game stopped when I got out of grade school. And I was upset because those math and money games did not happen out of grade school. Middle school on up through high school. There was no math and money games. I was like, what's up with that? It was my fault for not applying to my finances. I would have been richer. I would have been a multimillionaire years ago, right in my 20s. In my 20s, easy. I would have only worked for like 10 years. I would have worked 10 years max, 10 years. Because you have to earn money. You have to earn money to make money. So you have to get a job. If you're young, yes, you have to get a job because you have to earn money. But you don't take that money and finance things with it. You don't do that. Herbert Walker says, LJ, most people hate their jobs, but have so much debt, they are stuck and miserable until they're dead. Those people those people that you hear say, man, whoo, man, 55 is coming, 65 is coming, man, it's coming. They hate their jobs. Those people that say that, they don't even know what they're saying. They have no idea what they're saying. They really believe retirement is an age. Because if you're saying that, you believe you only can retire at 65 or 62 or whatever the paperwork says at your job, that's what you believe. Man, I got 5 more years. Says who? Your job or you? Oh, you believe retirement's an age. Got it. That's why you're saying that. That never made sense to me when I would fill out employee paperwork. When I would fill out employee paperwork, right, and they would come up to the retirement part, I would be looking at that like, man, do I really think I'm gonna be working here till I'm that age? I remember saying that to myself. It's more of a, what is that when they put that? Now, this is my opinion, okay? I'm thinking about this as I'm I'm not in debt. They shove that retirement stuff down your throat. The retirement package, right? Now this is outside the debt matrix, okay? So this is how I'm thinking. People in debt have no money. They just believe they do. So they'll believe that they're actually contributing to a retirement plan. They'll believe it. Even though they're not. So the benefit of the job, obviously, is tax breaks. If they create a 401k plan, if they create an HSA plan, they obviously get tax breaks. They obviously get tax breaks on the insurance. Man, they get a lot of tax breaks because a lot of people don't understand that if you're in debt, like say you had $10,000 in your 401k, okay? And you had $50,000 in student loan debt. 10,000 minus 50,000 is negative 40,000. That $10,000 that you believe is in your 401k is not there. It doesn't even exist. It doesn't exist for you. It exists for your job in IRS. That got to be a huge tax break. That's got to be like ginormous. Yeah. What's up, Queen of South? Dave says it's funny when people buy these big ticket items, house, cars, people tend to think they have a lot of money. In my family, when someone buys those things, other members start coming around wanting to borrow money. They think they have all this money, but not realizing they acquired loans and now they're in more debt. Yeah, people in debt are impressed by other people who finance stuff too. Darkman says, Gabriel, you don't have to burn bridges, especially when it comes to your employer. It might be a time that you may need to go back. Yeah. So you don't ever burn your bridges. I didn't burn my bridges from either job that I quit. So you just follow the rules. Here's my 2 weeks, blah, blah, blah. Dave Bourne says, if you give the 2 week notice, make sure you're ready to let go at that moment notice. Yeah, you gotta, I promise you, Dave, you won't do it unless you're ready. it's not like you saying, hey, I got to get ready for this, because once you hand in that notice, it's done, right? So you already have to make, that's the wonderful thing about quitting. When I quit my job, when I wrote up the 2 week notice, I mean, I was nervous. I was like, hey, I'm quitting, blah, blah, blah. I forgot what I wrote, and I printed it out. I was nervous. I had it with me. I was driving to work that morning, and I didn't give it to him right away, right? I waited till about 10 o'clock in the morning because it was still running through my mind like, ooh, shoot, man, if I give this, man. But I knew if I didn't do it, I was only bullshitting myself. I could only answer to myself. If I didn't give this notice to my manager, I was only bullshitting myself. So when I handed it to them, once they open it up and read it, that's it. Shh, it's done. It's done. Because you can't, at that moment, what you don't realize when you're in debt, first of all, if I didn't turn in a note, I was just bullcrapping myself, right? And if I gave the note, but then came back an hour later and said, oh, man, no, never mind, my job would have known they had me. They would have thought to themselves, Linnell's full of shit because he asked for the note back. He's full of crap. See what I'm saying? You can't, once you hand that note, you can. That's it. That's it. It's almost like that 2 week notice was something, a power in that paper that I was releasing. Like once I released it, that was it. Queen of the South said LJ is funny. I try to be. Dave Bourne says people make their cubicles their home. Some even may have foot mats down, some with job lockers, refrigerators. They don't even see it. They don't even see that they're saying, my job is my home. They own me. I might as well be comfortable. They own me. They're going to make their employees more, hey, you want to be here? We're going to make it as comfortable as possible. But I promise you, it's a different. If somebody's working there and they're debt free and they're there because they want to be there, you could really thoroughly enjoy all the amenities that some of these jobs create. You could literally enjoy that, literally. But even when you're financially free and you go to a job that they know that it's the jobs. I'm here for 8 hours. I don't care what you put around. I don't care if you put basketball hoops, games, whatever. I'm here for 8 hours and then I'm leaving. I'm not hanging out. I'm not making friends. I mean, you might make friends. I'm not going to say not make friends, but David says, I never decorate my cubicle. I learned the hard way after I was laid off. When I go, I want to leave out there as fast as I can. And I don't want nothing of value to be in that place when it's time to go. Reality Game Design says, when I was in IT, they had rooms with treadmills in them. for people that want to work out. I remember my job had a workout room, sure did. There was a coworker I knew that he had weights and worked out in his cubicle. I had some weights in my cubicle. I had some little foot things, so when I stand up at my cubicle, my feet wouldn't hurt and all this other stuff. I mean, people set up treadmills, anything to be comfortable at work. As I tell you guys, it's right in your face. It's right in your face. Oh, it's right in your face. It was right in my face. Didn't even see it. Dave says, when I was 20, why should I pay cash for the car when I can pay $250 a month? That's exactly how I was thinking too. That's exactly how I was thinking. What's up, Joseph? Cubicle jail is not fun. Sure, it's horrible. Dave Bourne says, paying with cash comes with 0 down and 0%. Sure does. Sure does. But people in debt, they'll swear they get the same thing when they go finance a car for 0%, 84 months. They think it's the same thing, and it's not. What's up, NC Biggs? Great consultation this morning, NC Biggs. That was good, man. Loved it. Loved it. Nicer says, school is what you make it. Sure is. What you get what you settle for. I took advantage of as many opportunities that I could as a student. My 2 best jobs was when I was working with youth, low pay, high reward, for sure. Dave Sincere, it's crazy. Everything has moved from you purchasing it outright to you now paying monthly subscriptions, membership fees, and so on. Yeah, no more buying services outright. They want you to become forever a slave. That's just the business model, honestly, Dave. It's just the business model. And the reason for this, you got to remember the reason for this business model. The real reason for this business model is because people are in debt. Right now, during this pandemic, nobody can really afford a $2,000 program. Okay, they just can't. You know, that's very difficult. You can't just, nobody has jobs and nobody's working and they're on unemployment and the virus and blah, blah, 50% workforce, whatever, right? They can't afford those type of programs. So this is the business model. It has to be that way. It's not like they have a choice. Dark Man says, I remember when I used to work in a cubicle at a call center several years ago. Worst experience ever. Used to see folks with decorated cubicles and never understood it. They don't know. That's why. Herbert Walker says, I did 30 years of cubicle hell. I'm taking a year off just to get my head right mentally. That's important. Herbert, that's very important. Excuse me. I didn't know that until I reached the year mark of not working. And then that is the moment when I realized that I needed to have a year off. Okay. Dark Man says, I was so glad when I was let go of that call center. I literally stuck my middle finger in the building and left. Ill Will says, contact LJ for ways to purchase a cell phone plans, car insurance. The man has all the answers to help you out of debt. LJ's contact information is in the description. Thank you, sir. Ill Will's always checking on me, man. I appreciate it. People in the same vibration understand other people in the same vibration. It's some kind of natural thing. I can't really explain that either. But I love school. I love the idea of learning. Plus, that's where all the girls were at. Why would I want to skip it? But I find that I learn more when I finish school. I was able to focus and learn. Yeah. Dave says, the things that truly interest me, but people don't. Oh. The price is your time and money. Okay, the things that truly interest me, but people don't realize you don't stop learning once school is over. Also, if you really want to learn, it's going to cost you. The price is your time and money. Yeah. Queen of South says, never allow a job to make you physically ill. Oh, that is true. I have seen people hospitalized from reoccurring stress from jobs. I know Queen of South is seeing that firsthand, and I 100% believe it. But they don't even realize why they're stressed. They don't realize debt is causing them to stay at a job that is detrimental to their health. They don't even know that. They know the job that they're at is bad for their health, but yet they stay. They don't never figure out to say, why am I staying? Because you're in debt and you don't trust mathematics. Two things that most don't want to contribute: time or money. Yeah, they don't. Cosmic says, man, in 6 years, I'll be ready to get kicked out. At the time, I'll be able to get a year of salary. My mentor told me, don't leave without a check. Primary house will be paid off. Oh, without a check. Gotcha. Okay. In 5 to 6 rentals, and I'll be good. I know Cosmic's already good now. She's just choosing to work longer. That's just a choice. Don't get Cosmic's job mixed up in with what I'm talking about. She's choosing to stay, okay? She can leave today if she chose to, all right? I worked for a Fortune 1000 company here in Atlanta eight years ago. There was a coworker. She would drive to work every morning. Before she gets to downtown Atlanta, she would pull over at 75 in and cry. Oh, God, and cry? Damn. Whew, is it that bad? Queen of the South, is it really like that? I mean, Queen of the South, you see what Dave wrote? Do people really come in the hospital like stressed like that to where they pull over and actually cry before they go to a place that they don't want to go to? Dave Bourne is right. The company I work for, if they discover you are quitting and going to work for a competitor, they will let you go at the moment. No 2-week notice. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Dave Sincere says, ask you all innocently, why are you leaving? I know. And do you have another job lined up? They sure do. Ask you all innocently. That is funny. Hyphy, yo, that's 38. Chat watching. Hit the button. Cosmic says, my company has a private gym, but I never use it because I would have to let a barbell slip in some of my coworkers' heads. I didn't want to catch a case. Queen of South says, LJ, why do people constantly define themselves by their job? If you die, they might send a green plant to your friend. You know what it is? People have identified themselves. This is what people do. They just choose to do that because in society, you got to notice, Queen of South, when in society, people always ask, the first thing they ask, hey, what do you do? Right? They ask, what do you do? That's the first question. Like that really means anything. But when you get out of debt, you don't understand. I mean, you'll understand when, not saying you, but you'll understand that job titles mean nothing. They just impress other people because when you hear a job title, people in debt associate that job title to money. So if they say, hey, I'm a doctor, they would associate rich. Hey, I'm an engineer. Oh, he's got to be in 6 figures. That's what they assume. And even if it's the money is true, it still doesn't mean nothing if they're double that in debt, right? So that's what a lot of people in debt don't understand. They're tied. That's why you got to say, that's why the title of this video, why do I need a job? Yo Will says, LJ, when I quit this top Manhattan law firm, six-figure job, I didn't have a life patching servers following the sun 7 p.m. Wow, Saturday to 7 a.m. Sunday every 3 weeks. Then they wanted you to assist during the 4 to 12 shift. Oh man. Ooh, that just brings back memories. I lasted 5 months. High Fee says, don't nobody teach what you talking about in school. Kids ain't being prepared right to be debt free. This is the hard fact of that, High Fees. Okay, let me explain. Now that I'm out of debt, there are rules that they're clear, but they're not written. Okay, they can't be written. All right, they can't be written down. All right, but once you get out of debt, you'll clearly see. Oh, okay, that's why that. Okay, that's why. So the kids are taught more to be part of the economy machine, and the economy runs on debt. Okay. It's it's not the school. Okay. It's not school. Let me try to I'm trying to put it in a way to where what I see. School teaches you the basics of what you need to actually function in the economy. And the economy's main engine runs on debt. If you go to school, when you go to school, you learn the basics, but if your parents know nothing but debt, they're going to teach their children. They're going to take what the children learn from basics in school, and then they're going to bring them to the debt side of it. What they've been taught. Hey, you take what you learn, all the basics in school, and you finance everything. They're taking the basic knowledge and they're using towards the debt side of the economy, which is the main engine. So millions of people think that way, but when you're taught a different way, you take those basics and you believe in mathematics, right? You take the math that you learned in grade school, you apply it to your finances, and everything else will just fall in place. That's how it works. But this must be known by the parents, because the parents, as a debt-free parent, you're going to naturally teach your children, because if you're debt-free and you're a parent and your child comes to you and say, hey, mom, dad, I want to finance that car, you're going to say, hell no. The kid is going to go, why? My friends are doing it. And then the parent's going to go, let me show you what I know that your friends don't know. And then you're going to show your kid. And then your kid grows up, and then your kid shows that kid, and it just goes on and on and on. That's how it works. So don't look at school like it's school's fault. It's not really anybody's fault but their own. They're choosing the wrong direction, knowingly or unknowingly. It doesn't matter. They're choosing to take that basic information the wrong direction. What's up, Reese? Quinn and Sal says, I love this channel. This is reality. Thank you. Appreciate it. Ill Will says, LJ, I've seen two traders and one analyst leave in ambulances at this hedge fund I worked for. The analyst just had a baby 2 months prior to this panic attack. He came from Texas. Job stressed him. And I bet you if you went up to a person in stress, that, like, people in debt, they love to complain about their job. The next time a person comes up to you and complain about their job, you say to them, why don't you just quit? Is that job bad for your health? Yeah. Why don't you just quit? Why are you staying? Say it to them just like this. Why are you staying at a place that's bad for your health? You know, you can die from that, right? That's why you're taking all that medicine, because you're at a place you can't stand. Instead of taking the medicine, why don't you cut it off at the source when you know the source is your job? Why don't you do that? They can't, because they're in debt. They will have like a glitch in the debt matrix. They'll look at you like they have no idea what you're saying. Hey, why don't you quit? If that job's gonna kill you, why don't you quit? That's what they would do. Stop taking the pills and cut it off at the cause of your health problem, your job. You guys can test it. They're not going to understand what you're going to say. I mean, don't believe me, just go test it. The next time, because everybody has a person in their life that complains about their job every single day. The next time they complain to you, you say, is that job bad for your health, man? Because I notice you're staying home, you got headaches. Just bring them in, right? Because they're gonna feed off of you being part of their vicious circle, right? They're gonna feed off you, right? So they're gonna just do your normal thing. Hey, man, what happened? Oh, man, I'm stressed. I got these bumps, man. I got a headache. My leg hurt, my back hurt because of this job, blah blah. And then you go, man, it sounds like that job is killing you, man. They're gonna say, oh yeah, man, my health ain't been the same since. And then you say, then why don't you just quit? Why don't you just quit that job and get your health back? Watch their answer. Watch their answer. See what they say. That's the power of debt. Queen South says, yes. I was in hospital several years ago. I was hospital administrator in Chicago. My doctor told me I'd look gray, not caramel, my color. Ooh, my normal color. Stress. It's right in your face. It's right in your face every single day. It's in your face. People say it. They say it. Man, I hate my. This is what people in debt don't even realize. That they don't know they're answering the question, why I need a job. They get on social media talking about they hate Sunday nights because they got to go to Monday. Monday's coming. Hump day, Wednesday. Oh my God, we're halfway through the week. Thank God it's Friday. The weekend's here, and they start it all over again. They just keep saying it. They don't realize what they're saying. I hate where I'm at. I can't stand being here. When you get out of debt, and I'm gonna tell you guys something. I didn't know that. What if I told you once you got out of debt, the days of the week don't even matter? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, they're all days. Saturday. What if I told you Saturday and Sunday are not special? They're not special days. It's just Saturday and Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and starts all. They're just days. They're not special. Sometimes it rains on those days. Sometimes it's sunny on those days. But when you work every day during the week, you hope and pray to God that it's sunny on those 2 days during the week. And then when it's not, you're mad. Oh my God, it just rained Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, that happens. Nice. It says workplace stress got to be higher for everyone that took a 20% pay cut. You better believe it. Herbert Walker says, LJ, now that we escaped the matrix, let's go fishing. I've been fishing in a long time, man. I need to do it. I need to do it. I bet you it'll be relaxing. Queen of the South says, I currently write accommodation letters for people every week so they can take medical leave or get disability. Now, don't get me wrong. If I had a job and this was happening, I would, if I had a legal right to get medical leave and disability, I would get it if it was my legal right to do it. As long as it's legal, everything's legal. I don't care. Like people like, oh my God, I can't believe you did this. Hey, if it's legal, don't worry about how people feel about what's legal. Okay. If this is you, don't count the feelings of how people feel. Okay. Herbert Walker says, S&D family, you can escape the matrix a lot sooner than LJ and I did. Sure can. Come see me. See, free 30-minute consultation right there at the bottom. Go to SavingsMinusDebt.com and schedule your free 30-minute consultation, okay? Free 30-minute consultation. If you like what I'm saying, here's my Cash App. I appreciate all the donations. Thank you. Appreciate it. Please don't forget to hit that super chat if you like it. If you like my videos, don't forget to hit that super chat. You have a question, SavingsMinusDebt.com or SavingsMinusDebt@gmail.com, excuse me. If you like to share the channel, you can just tell people to Google, hey man, Google this hashtag, SavingsMinusDebt. I will be the only person that populates in that search. The only person. That's it. Okay. Don't forget to hit that like button. Please don't forget to subscribe. All right. You can find me on Instagram. Or you can find me on YouTube, how you found me now, just in case if you need to look again. Joseph says, exactly. Days are all the same. You won't even realize it's a Thursday. Sure don't. I have no idea what day of the week is, what the day of the week is, until I look at the calendar the day of. Shout out to BL&S Holding for the $5 super chat. Thank you. What's good, LJ? Putting things into perspective as usual. I love what I do. I love it. I love showing people that they have a choice. When you're in debt, you think you don't have a choice, but you do. And the only choice you have is to get out of debt. Okay. If you're in debt, you don't have the option to buy a house. You don't have the option to buy a car. So rent versus mortgage is totally irrelevant to you. I teach people how to stop speaking as if you have a financial choice when you know mathematically you don't. Okay. Cosmic Wisdom says, my manager called me trouble because she has to work harder dealing with me. I refuse company phones, working weekends, and running certain projects. Hone your skills and you can dictate the terms at work. You sure can. That's what you see what Cosmic Wisdom saying? That's what financially free people do. They know their worth and they know their terms, and they know when you go to work, it's business. It's nothing more than that. It's nothing about being a team player. It's nothing about doing something that beyond your scope of your duties. None of that. That's a lie. I know you see that a lot on TV. Like when I watch TV shows, like reality, not just like these young 30-year-old TV shows, right? These TV shows make young people believe that life is like that. You work all the time. You answer phone. You answer the phone while you're on a date, or you answer your job phone while you're at a picnic, or, hey, honey, sorry, I got to take this call. You know, they do it in all the shows. Hey, sorry, I got to take this call. This is work. They always say that. Really? That's work at 7 p.m.? That means you're working for free. You mean a work call can interrupt your personal lifetime? There's not a job in the world that can do that for me. That will do that to me. If I have something scheduled for myself, you think I'm gonna let it get interrupted? No, somebody better be dying. That's the only exception. Somebody's dying. Oh, okay, all right. We can call it now. I don't care what he's doing. His mom's hurt or his girlfriend's hurt. Yeah, okay. That's excusable. But not, hey man, did you check that email that was sent out by so and so? That's not an emergency. Joseph says, 81 people at my job got laid off yesterday. I told one of them I will be joining them soon, laying myself off for good. Cosmic says, yet every year she still wants me to stay in the organization and knows there are other organizations asking for me. I make them work to give me the best options. Yeah, because see, Cosmic knows her worth. And businesses know that. If you ran a business, wouldn't you want the very best person doing what you need them to do? If you have a business and you have a financially free person working for you, because you got to know, if you're a boss and the person that working for you that's financially free, you know they're there because they want to be there. They don't have to be there, and they're very good at what they do. You're going to pay them what they want, because you know you can just pay them and walk away. If you said, hey, employee, I'm going to be gone for the weekend. I need you to do X, Y, Z. And this person's there because they want to be there. You can walk away and know that it's going to get done. You're not going to say like you left for the weekend. You're not going to call on Saturday to make sure they did what they're supposed to do. You're not going to be going to ask, because put it this way. If you left and made a call to make sure something was done, to double check to see if it was done, you got to think to yourself, what are you paying that person for if you have to check? That doesn't make any sense. A financially free person, knowing that they're there because they want to be there and they're good at their job, you can say, take care of that. I'll see you on Monday. And then you can enjoy your weekend. You can totally 100% enjoy it and not think about this job until 8 a.m. Monday. Join us on the Discord server. Appreciate it. That's where the rest of the SMD family are, talking, just asking questions, getting answers, talking to other SMD family members. And we still got one more giveaway to get my time, free 45-minute session. I got to talk to Hyphy about that. We got one more giveaway, okay? So I'm going to talk to Hyphy about that soon, and we're going to let you know when the next drawing will be, okay? Two SMD family members had donated my time, purchased some time from my site, and then, donated to other SMD family members, right? Micro Rambo and DTN Window Cleaning, for those of you I know. His name is Ulysses, but his YouTube name is DTN Window Cleaning, okay? Queen of South says, I tell them your job is killing you. Taking several medications is damaging your organs. Is the job worth it? They still believe they have no choice. Herbert Walker says, we Americans are underpaid, in debt, and overweight due to a stressful lifestyle. Exactly. And it's all by choice. Nobody can make me be overweight. Nobody can make me work at a stressful job. Nobody can make me do that. I get paid what I choose to be paid. No, hey, I want this. No, we're going to pay you that. Okay, cool. I'm not working there. Oh, we only pay 40. Well, I want 60. Well, sorry, we only pay 40. Okay, thanks for telling me. Bye. Queen of South says, Herbert Walker, I want to be like you and LJ when I grow up. All you got to do is choose it, Queen. That's all you got to do is choose it. You just say, okay, right? Like right now, Queen, all you got to do is be just like this. Okay, I'm going to be like LJ and Herbert. That's it. That's done. All you got to do is say it. Say it out loud. Just say, hey, I'm going to be like LJ and Herbert. Then that's when it happens. That's when everything starts coming together, because you just said it to the universe. You ever, like, sometimes I'll hear, like, sometimes I'll watch people. I do a lot of people watching, especially now I'm debt free. You'll hear people say something like, oh my God, I can't afford that. I'm too poor. You ever see, people love to joke. Like, if you go on Facebook, right, and you say something like, oh, I'm so broke, I can't afford this and that, and blah, 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 you'll see a whole bunch of people jump in, also telling the world how they're broke too, just like the person that just said they were broke. They all get in and jump in and say that, right? What they don't realize, what they're saying is that they're saying these things out loud to the universe. The universe doesn't know feelings. It's just going to believe what you tell it. So if you're laughing about being broke, the universe says, oh, they're obviously happy about being broke. They're laughing about it. The universe doesn't say, I wonder if they really mean that. I wonder if they really mean what they're saying out loud to me. It doesn't think like that. It just hears you. Oh my God, I'm so broke. And then it says, oh, okay, well, I guess you're gonna stay broke. I'm here to make, the universe is like, I'm here to make you happy. So if you're laughing about being broke, I guess you're happy being broke. Okay, you stay broke. That's how it works. Hit the like button and subscribe. CashApp SavingsMinusDebt. Thank you. Darkman says, I've had a company that contacted me last week that offered me a position, and they offered me way less than what I wanted. I kindly said, no, thanks. This is what the majority of people cannot see right now, right? And it's almost a waste. It's almost a waste even saying it out loud for free. It's because the majority of people in debt will never see it. They will never see it. They'll never see why the wages that they were once earning are never going to return. They're never getting, you must have a very valuable skill now. And the only person that determines if your skill becomes valuable is you, right? So let me give you an idea of what I mean by that. There are millions of jobs disappeared. That's millions of people out of work. If a business wanted to survive, and if they want to survive from here on out, I mean, it's a plus for the business, don't get me wrong, but let's just say things were accelerated for them. Okay. Now, businesses were seeing how Uber and Amazon, they're making millions, billions of dollars without having any employees, just making them all 1099. Now, businesses, I'm sure they could see that. They're like, damn, by having actual employees, it's costing us a lot of money. A lot of money. How are we going to make that transition? How in the hell can we do that? And then comes along coronavirus. Accelerated their wants. Think about it. If they wanted to become, say like there was a building of 500 employees, they wanted to copy Uber and make everybody 1099. That would be at least it got to be a 10-year process, at minimum 10 years for that transition. And then come along coronavirus, which accelerates a 10-year process into months. Just like that. This forced businesses not only the opportunity, but pure survival if they want to make it to the coronavirus. So they had to do whatever they took. I can only imagine the scramble, especially from being an IT person. I only can imagine the scramble, right? To get everybody home, to set up computers, internet, documents, training. Right? And then make it work, because they didn't know how long this is going to last. It's still here. It's still, people believe since businesses are opening, they think it's going back to normal. That normal before this coronavirus is gone forever, but that's another point. But anyway, now businesses, I guarantee you this, they're going to be creating 1099 workers. This is their opportunity. Now they don't have to have employees. They don't even have to have a building or multiple buildings anymore. They can just make one small one, because nobody's going to be there. Everybody's going to be at home. Now, if there's no jobs, and those are the only types of jobs that will be available, they get to pay them whatever they want, because there's no other choice. Because if people continue to work for 40 hours and accepted a 20% pay cut, you are in debt. Only people in debt would accept working the same amount of hours for 20% less. Are you insane? What does that say about pay? They know you will accept what they pay you because you have no choice. And this is going to be for years. Years. So whatever way less is, people are going to take what they can get. If you want to know how it's going to be, you want to know how the new model is going to be when you go back to work, ask a Uber driver right now. Ask a Lyft driver. Ask a Amazon food deliverer, or Amazon package deliverer. Ask them. Ask them how they're doing it. But this is the way it's going. So I advise you to start understanding what 1099 means. You can start right now, right? But this is what I want you to make sure of. So I'm going to help you make sure you ask the right person that's doing it. This is how you ask them. I know it's kind of off, but I need this is very important for you. The person you ask that is working a 1099 job, you ask them this: hey, are you in tax trouble? Anybody you ask that is doing a 1099, you ask them first, are you in tax trouble? If they're in tax trouble, you do not listen to them. They're doing it wrong. How do I know this? They're in tax trouble. If they're in tax trouble, that means they did something wrong. Don't listen to them. If a person's doing it and you ask them if they're in tax trouble and they say no, you go to them and say, okay, cool. What are you doing? Okay. Queen of South says, we are in a new normal due to COVID. This is new normal. Queen of South says, yes, Herbert Walker, I spoke my freedom into the universe. Always do that. Dave Sincere says, LJ, you are right. Years ago, my mom and I were talking and she blurted out that she was poor. It was very disturbing as I never heard her say that when we were growing up, but I knew we didn't have money. As an adult, my sister and I make a pretty good living and we do more for my mom than she ever had done for us before. But to hear her still say she's poor when we put her, in a house and she drives a 2018 Nissan Maxima just did something to me. Her still believing she's poor in the mindset. She has no wants or needs in life. She has a home filled with things that she didn't pay for, library worth 20,000, and she still believes she's poor. It's a mentality state. This is a program. It's a programming. You guys, I want you to understand this, okay? This is somebody designed this. Okay, I want you guys to clearly understand that somebody designed this. And it's not only a physical design, but the most important part is the psychological design. For somebody to come up with, as I'm thinking about it now, a psychological design that spreads across generations. I don't even know how you even come up with that. I don't even know how you come up with that. With the person that came up with that, man, it's just I don't know what type of person that is. I mean, I'm not saying the person's bad or good. I'm just saying that what kind of mental state that person has to say, okay, in order to create a machine, economic machine, the majority of people must remain in debt. How do we get people to believe that debt is just part of life? And then it just goes on and on and on and on and on. You know, it's just like, okay, we need this piece. If we need to make them believe that debt is part of life, we have to do this. We have to put this in place. We got to put that in place. We got to make them believe this and that. That takes not one person. One person starts it, but then it's connected generationally. It's a very powerful thing to make a person believe that they need a job. I believed that for the first 40 years of my life. I believed it. I believed I need a job. I needed a job. I believe I needed credit to buy anything. I believed in bragging on my credit score. I remember walking into I used to go to like nice restaurants, like really nice, where rich people eat, okay? Rich people with money eat, right? And I would look at them, right? And when I looked at people with money eat, you could look at them and say, Okay, they look like they have money, but it wasn't like because they had a Rolex watch on or some Gucci shoes or a Dolce Gabbana purse sitting up there. You know, it wasn't like that, right? And so when I used to walk in the room, places like that, I made sure, because I didn't know at that time, I didn't really know the difference between rich people and myself, right? I didn't know what the difference was. Okay, obviously, somebody says, well, they have money and you don't know. That's not what I'm meaning. I didn't know the only difference between rich people and myself is that rich people trusted mathematics and I didn't. I didn't know that. They're not special. They're not hoarding money. They're not keeping anything back from you. They're not saying you can't have any, because there's plenty for everybody, right? But in order for you to become wealthy, you must trust mathematics. That's it. Queen of South says, I am hanging out with SMD because you guys are sharing priceless knowledge and power. I appreciate that, Queen of South, and I love, this is my mission. This is my destination. This is my passion. I couldn't even stop if I wanted to. That's why I'm turning it into an enterprise. Like, my goal is to be on the Dave Ramsey show. That's one of my goals. And not to come to Dave Ramsey as a fan, right? Even though I'm a fan, I consider him my mentor. Not when I meet him, because I will. It will be because of the work he's seen that I put in, because I got a lot of videos. You got to put in work, and in order to impress people that understand, it's consistency. You got to put in work. You can't say, hey, I want to help, do my passion or whatever, right? And then they go to your page, you got one video, and you'd be like, how long you have your YouTube channel? Oh, 2 or 3 years. I'm gonna get started. No. He's gonna see my work. I'm gonna get on the Joe Rogan show. That's another one of my goals. Meet Will Smith and meet Dr. Dre. Queen of South says, our parents are often too proud to share their struggles with their children. Yeah, and that's a major mistake. That's a major mistake. This is now that I'm out and I'm able to share with you guys that to understand that you have a choice. What I teach is generational, right? Once you know what I teach you, you're going to naturally pass this down to your children. You're going to once you experience what financial freedom feels like, you're going to want everybody to know it, right? But no, everybody's not going to hear you, especially adults. But if you have children, they're still moldable. Once they see you doing it, put it this way, as a parent, if you become debt free, I promise you, your whole life is going to change. Your whole life's going to change, and your kids will see it. And that your kids will notice that their parents are not like the majority of parents. They'll say, damn, my parents, they never argue about money, because when you get out of debt, you don't argue about money because money's not an issue. You only argue about things that are issues. Money will not be an issue. You will not experience being married but working so many hours that you guys don't see each other. That won't happen. So gone are the problems. Oh man, you're always at work. You're always doing this. That won't be a problem, because you won't even allow that to come between you and your marriage. That will never happen. All because you're not in debt. That's it. You know, the games that you missed because you had to work and you couldn't make it to the game or you were late? That will never happen. You will be at every game. You will be at every event. No, there will not be a phone call from anybody that will come in the middle of your child's birthday party. You wouldn't even allow that to accidentally happen. You know why? You would turn your phone off to make sure it wouldn't happen. Your kids will grow up not experiencing any of that they see on TV shows and all this other stuff. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Once you become financially free, you won't marry anybody that's in debt. You won't. Once you feel the pain of paying off every single penny of your debt, the first question you ask, I don't care how fine that person is, the first question you ask, you're going to say, are you in debt? Because you will know all the stresses that come with being in debt, hating your job, arguing about money, always at work, working from home. Why are you always checking your email in the car? Why are you checking your email while you're on vacation? None of that will happen because you will never get with somebody in debt that causes that. You will cut it off at the source. When you're debt free and you go on a date and your date answers the phone and they say it's work, that's what you're going to get more of right there. They're showing you right there. If they answer a phone call and they say, excuse me, I got to take this is for work. And if you take that person seriously, look forward to more of that, because that's what those people do. They do that when they're in debt. They answer phone calls when they're using their own time to spend some time. They're using their own time, but it's interrupted by work. They allow it. It doesn't stop because you guys fall in love. It gets more. They get more and more comfortable. And then guess what they start saying? Hey, what do you want me to do? You know, it's work. If you want to live like this, if you want to have the car and the house and this and that, and it just goes on and it never stops. That's what it's like to be financially free. That's what it's like not to need a job. That's what it's like. And you don't have to be rich. You just can't be in debt. Man, people writing that meal off on their taxes as well, and we trying to play in the ballpark and not knowing the rules exactly. hmm Being in technology allowed me to peek behind the curtains into that world. You know, so crazy, Ill Wills. Check this out. If a person doesn't believe in mathematics, they can peek in the room all they want. It doesn't even matter. They do. It's done right. None of this stuff that I'm telling you guys, none of this is hidden. Calling it a secret, people in debt believe it's a secret, and just calling it a secret is what's fooling them because they believe it's a secret. No, it can't be. It can't be math that you learned in grade school. Then it's working. Yeah, it's a secret. No, it's not math. It's a secret. Queen of South. Talking to Queen of South. Okay. Herbert Walker says a dream about a plan is a wish. LJ can help you with your plan to achieve financial freedom. I can get you ahead light years, man. Light years. I can help you right off the bat. Once you see it, you're going to take off from there. You're going to know what to do. You'll be like, oh, damn, I didn't see that. Yep, it's right there. Do I take a left or a right here? You take a right. This is why. I just don't tell you to go a direction without telling you why to go that direction. I'm going to show you with mathematics. I'm going to tell you to do something, and you're going to say, hey, Linnell, why should I do that? Because this math right here says it. See that math? It says if you do this, that, this, that, and you'll be free. That's why. Queen of South says, my best friend has at least 10 credit cards. I no longer use credit cards. 10 credit cards. And people in debt brag about how many credit cards they have. They brag about it. They have no idea what they're saying when they tell the world that they got 10 credit cards. They have no idea. You can't go up to a person with 10 credit cards and say, hey, you know that's not a good thing, right? You know it's not good to have 10 credit cards. Who told you that? The credit bureaus? Did the credit bureaus tell you that you needed 10 credit cards? Oh, Equifax, TransUnion, and Equifax, TransUnion, and what's that last one? Experian. Did they tell you it was good to have 10 credit cards? Yeah, of course they said it. All right, you guys. There's not any more questions. We're going to go ahead and get off of here. Appreciate you all. Thank you, everyone, who participated. Appreciate it. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you all for joining. Don't forget, you enjoyed today's class. Pretty soon it ain't going to be free. Every now and then, but the videos won't be as many. Okay, it won't be as many videos. It'll be more of it will be in the paid room. Okay. Read these last ones real quick here, and then we're gonna get on out of here. Dave Sincere says, I remember years ago when I first started in corporate America, I went out with my director and colleagues for drinks after a hard week, and I said, hey, first round on me. My colleague said, no, Dave, we're going to expense this. My director pulled out the company credit card and bought all the food and drinks. The moment in my early 20s taught me something. Right there. It sure does. All right. She says, Cosmic says, we have a voice chat on Discord at 6:30. Okay, there's the link. Come join Cosmic if you want to do on Discord later. Jump on in there. Hit that like button on the way out. Appreciate it. Hi, if he says come. Discord, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Today as we're having an SMD voice chat. Okay. What's up, Johnny Blaze? Came to us right at the end of it, man. All right, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. All right. See you later.